Hi, Flash Tube. It's Diane. Mini Dot. He's got a cold, so he was up a lot last night. He's lactose sensitive, and he had something that he shouldn't have had yesterday, so he was up with a tummy ache last night. Thought I'd do a quick update. Today is October the 1st, 2018, and my daughter had her PET scan last Monday, a week ago, and we went over all the results when she had her chemotherapy last Thursday with the oncologist. Her previous PET scan, which I think was in July, the tumor was bright yellow. And again, a PET scan, one of the ways they can use that is have different colors for different things they're looking for, and they put a sugar solution in an IV for her, and this particular one shows up bright yellow on the scan, and your brain, your kidneys are bright yellow, but also this tumor uses a lot, and so it was bright yellow on that first scan. On this scan, color-wise, you couldn't tell it was there. Now the tumor is still there. It just is not as active. So the chemotherapy is definitely working. And talking with the oncologist, the plan right now is 3 more chemotherapy treatments and then radiation. So our next chemotherapy, which is October 11th, we are going to do the chemotherapy, and then we're going to literally walk next door and talk with the radiation oncologist to kind of understand that part of the process. Every patient is different, so they do chemotherapy on different schedules, and they do radiation on different schedules. So we'll see what her schedule is. It may be that I'm at her apartment for a couple weeks. I don't know. Because radiation really, chemotherapy takes a lot out of you, but radiation really takes a lot out of you. But that was really good to hear that it's been affected. We're on the right track. It did shrink a little. The oncologist said that the tumor itself shrunk just a wee bit, but there's a lot of scar tissue around it, so it's not going to be, significant that you would see on a scan of some kind. She also had a CT scan because they thought that she had a new spot. But when she had the biopsy, the mediastinoscopy, because you have that notch in your breastbone, and her biopsy was just above that, the thoracic surgeon had to go in there because her tumor is right behind the breastbone, so he had to kind of go in to get it. And since with chemotherapy, your ability to heal, your immune system is suppressed, your ability to heal, it takes significantly longer. And the oncologist and everyone she consulted feels that that's what's going on, that her body's taking longer to heal. So they did a CAT scan, and there was nothing there on the CAT scan to indicate a new growth or anything. She just thinks that they removed the biopsy that way, and his fingers. She said on the CAT scan it looked like 2 fingers, literally, were down in there. So she's going to keep an eye on it. The oncologist is going to keep an eye on it, but doesn't feel that there's new cancer anywhere. So that was really good to hear, and we only have 3 more sessions, although her appointment was at 10 and they didn't get started actually giving her the chemotherapy until 1. Oh, it was a long day. It was a long day, and the weather's been just sucky. Rain again today. Really? Excuse me, can't we have some sun? Speaking of sun, someone asked what my Marine did to his ears. Let's just say it was a non-approved, non-sanctioned Marine activity his eardrum was damaged. But he received confirmation, and so on last Monday, they gave him all clear on his ears. Tuesday, he had a physical. They do a lot of physicals in the military, between trainings, during trainings. Yeah. So he has his orders, and he will be leaving where he's at now, going to a short-term training, and then ending up at the school that he's been trying to get to for a year. A year and a half. So, yeah. That was good news for him. He's just happy to have forward momentum. He didn't waste his time. There's a lot of coursework and stuff, and he did a lot of that while he was waiting, both to achieve the next rank, and then they have some for what specialty he wants to enter. But I thought I would update, because a lot of people are praying for my daughter, and I and our family. I just so appreciate it, and I thank you so much. Several of you have sent cards, and just, it's so nice to hand my daughter some cards and say, well, here, and she'll open them up and she'll smile, and I'm like, well, you don't know that person, but I do. So it's been really nice. So I thank you. Also, after her PET scan, I had the chance to go Stitchville because a friend, she knows who she is, gifted me a gift certificate, and they were holding it there for me. They were holding it there at Stitchville for me. So I picked up this one, Jasmine. You know where I colored it? Someone said this one was out of print. It could be, but I have it now. And then, of course, you know, the designers, they post pictures of their new patterns. Oh, I still haven't received part 9 of Farmhouse Christmas yet. I'm stalking the mail person because I want to get that series done. I have all the other 8 done. I just need to get 9 done. Hopefully it'll come today. And my fabric of the month from last month didn't arrive yet. That was delayed because of the hurricane. And then I did order the Autumn Blaze and Autumn Flame, the latest Nora's. I did order those. So it might be a good mail day today. I don't know. Whenever the mail person gets here. Yeah, that's a whole other story. Anyway, sometimes you the designer post and you're like, oh, well, that's cute. I don't need that right now. Oh, that's cute. You know, it's not my style. And they post a pattern, and you're like, sign me up right now. Really, Paulette? How could you do this to me? I don't stitch Halloween, but these are not Halloween. These are definitely autumn themed, and I just, the sentiment, the tongue in cheek. That's been my attitude lately, to be honest. Oh, and I bought 36 count cream to stitch both. This piece should fit both of them. I was driving my van, so I stayed overnight at my daughter's on Sunday because her PET scan was first thing in the morning, Monday morning, and just traffic-wise, it made sense to go from her apartment to the hospital rather than from my house to the hospital. And so I stayed overnight. Well, a friend had also gifted her a chest freezer, so I brought that down with my van. And then after we got the chest freezer and situated and all that, and then I left, and I was headed to Stitchville in my van, following all the traffic rules, and all of a sudden, you know, I'm sitting there at the light to turn left, and all of a sudden somebody's honking the horn behind me. It's green, it's green. And I'm like, yeah, but this person's running the light. Yeah, I'm not getting in an accident because some old fart. And I was like, you know what? You can wait. You can wait. I've had so many people honk at me in my van, and I'm like, I am following all the the traffic rules. Just because you aren't is your problem. Anyway, I thought, you know, I could stitch this, put this in my van, and I'd be giving people the bird. It's kind of where my sense of humor has been recently. I thought of that and I thought, okay, I need some sleep. On these two patterns, there are, let's see, one of them has 10 and one of them has 11 colors. And a lot of fancy floss, although one of them has a DMC, this one has the DMC called for in the original pattern. And I looked, and the only really fancy floss you can see the variegation is the Colonial Copper. And so that's what this is. And I have some of the other ones, but I'm just going to pull from my stash for the other ones. But between these two, if you got these two patterns and you wanted to use all the fancy floss, 9 colors are the same between these two. And then this one has a DMC. So there would only be two, so you need 11 colors total, and you could do both of these. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. And I like what she says. To Pat Ryan for not telling me to buzz off when I asked her to stitch the model. What does this one say? I got those. And then what I've been stitching on the most is Iris. This is 32 count Belfast Marvelous Fiberlicious. And here's where I'm at. So this whole half of the skirt is done and up. That's done. So now I'm working on this part, and then I'll do the skin. And no, I'm not doing skin 1/1. Those of you who do it, God bless you, but I know. No. He had a second haircut on Saturday. It took my oldest daughter, one of my sons, my husband, and myself to give him his haircut. He was not a happy camper. Oh, man. One thing, though, his hair is so blonde that he got mad and his whole head was red. So you can see the blonde hair. But no, he was not a happy camper. Oh, man. But, yeah, the weather, it's just like really endless rain. Endless, endless, endless. We're not going to get our fall. I was hoping we'd have a nice long fall with the rain, and then we've gotten cold, not frigid, but cold. So the leaves are just going to drop. They're not going to color change, which sucks. I was hoping that we'd have a nice, long, colorful fall. But this week, my parents are coming into town. We have our son's open house, and I'm just putting the finishing touches on the lid for the fire pit, and that's done. That project is totally done for this year. And then get the house ready for the open house, get the food ready. Gotta go to Costco at least twice this week. So, yeah. Just not in a good mood today. It's just kind of like... But... being up all night with a little one is hard, no matter what age you are. I'm surprised you fell asleep. If you are interested in sending my daughter a card, contact me below, and I'll have my email address in there, mondotstitches@gmail.com, and my Instagram. And again, thank you for the messages, the cards, the prayers, the thoughts. It's greatly, greatly appreciated. So I might come back if the mail comes at a decent time. Or I may just upload this, I don't know. But I will come back when I have some progress to show. So, oh, and I did start another project, but it's a super secret project, so I'm sorry, can't can't show you. I'll show you when the person receives it and all that. But other than that, I hope you all have a good day, and we will talk to you whenever I do.